Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with podcast number 33. Here we go on today's 5 questions. And remember, if you're an investor and you have a question that you would like answered, send it to support@bsffacademy.com. One more time, support@bsffacademy.com. Here we go. Question number 1. How many virtual assistants does an investor need? And what tasks would be delegated to those assistants? Well, that really depends on how big your operation is. In the beginning, I don't think you need any. In fact, a lot of times what happens is we try to get somebody else to do the stuff that we don't like doing. And in reality, we ought to know how to do everything. We ought to understand what it feels like to cold call, what it feels like to return a call to an angry seller, what it feels like to be doing all those things that we try to get away from doing because we don't like to do it. When we know how long it takes and what the emotions that are involved in some of these tasks, we'll be much more kind to those people that we're asking to do this stuff for us. As for how many, well, again, that if you're going to buy a house a month, you don't need any. You should be able to handle it all yourself. If you're going to buy 20 houses a month, I'm not going to call them virtual assistants. I'm going to call them people in your office who you're going to have meetings with and talk to and train, and you're going to have systemization. Guys, this is a really easy business. Do it all yourself if you can. And why would we want to hire a virtual assistant in the get-go? Maybe we have a job, and this is a part-time job, and we need someone to do those things for us because we just don't have time. Well, make the time. Make the time. It's not an easy get-rich-quick business. This is a hard business to learn. Once you learn it, it's going to have massive amounts of success and wealth for you. But get in the trenches. Start out. Do it yourself. Go from there. Systemize your business. And once you have a systemized business where you can give somebody some tasks without explaining to them what has to be done, then you can hire an assistant. I think you'd much rather hire an actual assistant than a virtual assistant. But I understand Odesk people are inexpensive, and Filipinos and Indians work for a lot less money than we do. But you're giving away so much when you got to start doing that in the beginning. Question number 2. How do you handle a situation in which there are no comparable sales for a property you're interested in buying? Outstanding question. When that comes up, that's one of the hardest items to answer. And there's kind of 2 things you can do. Every once in a while, we have this what we call this gut feeling, like, gosh, my gut says I should do something. Well, if we don't have any comparable sales, we could do one of 2 things. What does your gut say it's worth? Well, okay, here we go. I got a house. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's not very pretty. It's ugly. And in fact, I can't even compare it to anything. There's nothing out there. What do I do? Well, what's the land worth? I guess I could go that direction only. But I'll go with my gut. I'll say, is it worth $5,000? Yeah. It's worth $5,000. Is it worth $10,000? Maybe at $10,000, it's not working for my gut. And sometimes you just have to do it that way. The other thing you can do is get a professional appraisal. Lock it up at a price, and go hire someone that's trained to get the number for you and have them worry about it. $450 later, you're going to have the exact value of the property. That seems like a cool thing to me if you don't have a way to get comparable sales, but you don't spend the $450 until you have it locked up. The other thing you can do, and which is another way of, deciding the gut feel, is it so embarrassingly low from an offer perspective that you're embarrassed? So, like, someone says, I want to sell my house, and what will you give me for it? And you say $10. But that's the only thing you can come up with, and you're so embarrassed to say $10 that that's the number, though. That's what you offer. And if they lock it up for $10, go for it. So if there's not a way to do it, gut feeling, get it under contract, hire an appraiser. Question number 3. How can an investor get their name out in the local community? Man, great question. Friggin' awesome question. Don't do anything that gets you on the news negatively, so you don't want to do that. But why don't you do something positive that would get you on the news? Why don't you call a news station and say, I'm going to donate bicycles to the school over here where I buy houses for Christmas for all the kids. So you're going to spend a couple $1,000s. You're going to be handing out these things. News is going to be there blasting you all over the place. Why don't you carry some business cards and every time you see 2 types of people, there's only 2 types of people this works on. Only 2. So make sure you remember these 2. It doesn't work on anybody else but these 2 types of people. Every time you see a boy or a girl, you go up to them, introduce yourself, hand them a business card. That'd be one way. Be a great way, in fact, kind of stuff. So you can self-promote through community awareness, so you can give stuff away, be active in that. Or you could just be the walking, talking real estate investor, cold greet like crazy. I mean, it's okay. Wear an I Buy Houses shirt or blouse. Get out there and say, this is what I do. Question number 4 is a scenario. Mr. Investor received a call from a seller and made an appointment to buy the house. However, the seller already has 3 appointments with other investors who are also interested in buying the house. How can Mr. Investor convince the seller that he is the one who is going to buy their house? Well, that is so super simple. Let me tell you how super simple that is. Are you ready? Let's go. I'm going to role play with myself. Mr. Seller. Hi, yeah, Michael Quarles. So you're telling me you have 3 other investors coming out to see the house, give you a price? You do. Now, did they say they were coming out to buy the house, or were they coming out to look at the house? Oh, they're coming out to look at the house. Gosh, I want to buy your house. I can give you the cash, close on the day of your choice. You know what I have found with a lot of investors that are out there? And in fact, a lot of them I've trained, is they don't know what they're doing. How many of them answered the phone when you called them or called you back on a set time like 15 minutes later? Not very many of them, or any of them, did they? Were we pretty prompt and did we act professional? Would you rather have a professional investor buy your property or someone that was hard to get a hold of that you're not necessarily certain that can actually perform? Which one would you rather have buy your house? Because, if I were you and I was going to be promised that a certain amount of money on a day forward, I'd want to make sure that promise was real. I tell you what, if you'd like, you can call my lender or you can call my bank and I'll let them tell you how much money I have in my account. If you ask those other 3 investors if they'll do the same thing, I bet you they won't. I bet you they don't have any money in their account. But I know how many zeros I have in my account, and if you'd like to verify it, I'd be happy to verify it. My job is to buy your house and close on the day of your choice. All we have to do is simply sit down, go over the agreement, sign it, and you'll have your house sold today. That's what you want, right? That's what I thought. Let's do this. It's so simple. Just put everybody else out of the way. Tell them how much more special you are than everybody else. And if you don't have a lot of zeros in your checking account, then you can't use that one, but I do, so I can use it. You go through my coaching program and you'll get a lot of zeros in your checking account, by the way. Question number 5. How do you convince sellers who just want to get rid of their house that subject to is the best option for them? Absolutely, it's the best option for them. They just want to walk away. They want to get rid of it. Here's what I'm going to do. This is cool. I mean, this is really awesome stuff. The house doesn't have to qualify for a new lender. We don't have to qualify for a new lender. There aren't going to be any lender work repair requirements. Man, that stuff is cool. And here's the best part. I'm going to continue to make the payments on your loan, and it's going to positively affect your credit score. People are going to start thinking you make more money because your credit rating is going to start increasing. Did you know, in fact, when you paid off a loan, your credit score goes down? It's crazy. I know. You should never pay off a loan in the case like this. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the house from you. We're going to get you on your way. We're going to start making those mortgage payments. And I promise you one thing. I will pay off the house when I sell it, or when I refinance it, or when the last payment's made. Now, if you don't plan on doing that when you sell it, don't make a deed restriction. Just say the other two things. When I refinance it, or I take the last payment, and Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we're going to send you a copy of our payment to your lender. You still have the right to log in, see what's happening, see those payments are made on time. And in fact, I'm going to set aside a 4-month payment deposit, and those things are just going to get automatically paid. It's the nicest thing. It's the fastest and easiest way to get your house sold and get you on your way. That's exactly what you want. I just simply need to sit down with you, go over the agreement we're going to use, and buy your house today. Fantastic. Folks, this was fun. I enjoy some of these questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Bury me with questions. I mean, I want to just be so overrun with these questions that I can't do anything else except answer questions all day long. I would love that. Remember to send them to support@bsffacademy.com. Support@bsffacademy.com. And if you want to turn your life around, if you want to make some more money, if you want to buy some houses every month, month in and month out, make $27,000 a house, buy 12 a year, $324,000 a year in income, give me a call. Let's talk about the coaching program. Let's get you involved. It is better for you not to spend marketing dollars until you know what you're going to be doing. And my coaching program will do that for you. Talk to you guys soon. It's been fun. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.